Sure. Good morning, let's start. We can start out it. And good morning, Abhishek.
Good morning, sir.
I just finished tea. And so what do we have? Um, What we have done is like today's day three, and till the first day, that is day two, we have almost completed all the basic requirements or basic functionalities for our bank. Anything more is totally based on what are the personalized API and other stuff. So at least I can say that whatever that we have covered would be the would be all the core requirements for our project. That is one is security, then database, and the APIs, securing the APIs, those kind of stuff. Next thing today we'll be starting off with our one more thing that I'll be doing is that the next day that is the day four, I'd be having like I'd be creating the like I'd be finishing out the front. Like that day, what I will just come up with some other extra tables for our backend and some more CRUD APIs, right? Just to test those out. Before that, today, as of now, what am I planning to do is I'll be like starting off out the installations, whatever that we need for the front end to work, right? And work. And after that, we'll be like going through the uh, project structure, as in the front end structure, whatever files and folders that we have, and how are the pages, how the pages are getting rendered out, and those idea we'll be seeing. After that, we'll be trying to uh, create some more extra pages, right? And see how those are working. And that could be our today's agenda. And yeah, it will be today's agenda. We'll be keeping today a bit late, and we'll see how it goes and if we could include something good for today's system. So as I was saying, like for every day, I would just create a copy for the past day's directory, rename it day three, whatever day today is. Now, there's one thing that I want to do is change the folder structure a bit. In day three, let me create a new folder. Like name it as backend and shift everything that is in here into backend direction. That I can do. And so how the folder structure is right now. See here if I open that up. So do like this. So those are the folders that I have in the base directory, right? Let's do this. ls day 0, day 1, day 2, day 3 as of now. In day 3, what I have is Day3. I have only a single directory that is backend. Now, what am I saying? I will create another directory for like name it as frontend and stuff. And we code whatever that is there for frontend in that directory. And backend now onwards, today onwards, we'll be coding backend to this backend. Now, next thing, what I have is we do not open up browser and search for node which is in here. Just go to the correct whatever first link that you are getting. You go to downloads. Now it depends on uh, which OS you are on right now. If you are on Linux, do this like select whatever LT, like whatever version that you want to go for. Okay, be the latest one, be the LTS one. Just that you need to like we will be installing Node.js to get npm stuff. Okay. Node package files. Now, there's a thing. Let's start off over here. I'm coming to Node.js in a this. Let's go to Vue.js documentation. Vue.js. Open up the documentation, and if you go to quick start, get started, you will see that here or quick start over here. If you start from here, you will see that to create a Vue application, multiple ways. One way is that how you are taught in the lectures, like getting the Vue JS as a CDN to your pages. That is okay, that is fine, that is possible. But rather doing that, there is one more way that I was talking about. Doing it in a CLI format, as if building a project. Okay. Now, what to do? Like you can see that to build a project, you can use the package managers, right? It could be npm, it could be pnpm, it could be yarn, it could be bun, multiple things are there. Now, what am I saying is, if you have anything in your system, most probably bun is there in uh, Mac, I guess. I'm not sure. Something is there. I guess bun or something is already present in Mac. So you can use that. If not, if nothing is there, go for npm or pnpm. It's fine. Like you can go through it, whatever or whichever like, one you get. Think that yes, it will be better. You can use that. No worries to that. Okay. Like we want to run this kind of a command. For that, I need the package manager. Similarly, there is one more thing. Okay, that is Vue CLI. Now this is different. It's a it's a package, but it's not the CLI that I am talking about. CLI is the idea that I am talking about. This is the tool that is named as Vue CLI. Okay. Next thing, even for this one, if you want to use this for instance, for this too, you have to use npm or yarn. Okay. Now the thing is that just to get npm, you have to download it. Node.js that I was saying. Okay. Now the versions that you want to select is either any LTS version or the current version. Anything that you like to prefer. But the version should be after 18. Right? Like starting from this version 18 till the current version. Anything is okay. I'm going for the LTS one. Like I already have it in my uh, current system. Like if I do Node B, then you can see that I already have 20, right? Let's do one thing, let's update it. Now, I'm going for that LTS version, and it's for Linux. Okay, there is one more suggestion. If you are on Windows, no, just go for the uh, install. Okay, no need to use the codes. Like you can use the codes, there's no issue or no harm, but there is something like you have to get Docker. Then, either like if you are choosing Docker, then there's the thing. Else, if you are going for chocolatey, then there's the uh, uh, privacy wala thing that you have to handle and stuff, right? So it's better you can go for the installer here on Windows. And on Linux, I'll just use Linux, and over here I'll select NVM. Going for it. With which package manager that you want to go for, yarn, npm or npm. I'm going for npm, right? Now, what you want to do is just copy it. If there is for Linux too, but I'm not going for that. Install. I'm going for this. I'm going for this. What? Command. Okay. Just copy it. I'm saying go madly. No worries to that. Okay. And paste it. Run the command, and you are done. Nothing to do with nothing. Okay. It will just do everything for you. Now it got updated. Even give it a try again. So go to maintenance fee and npm. Just check the versions. With checking the versions, you are like verifying that yes, it got installed.
So if you are using the CLI, we don't want to separately download Node.js, nothing, right?
Yes, yes. If you want to go for CLI, like CLI idea, then yes. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
But it is worth it that I would say any day.
Excuse me, sir.
Hmm.
There is, I guess, Vue.js 2 and 3. So in that case,
No worries. Not like there's not a huge difference. See, in terms of basic knowledge, there won't be a huge difference between View 2 and View 3, right? And the changes will be very uh, slight in nature, and you can like you won't be like feeling a difference between building a project from View 2 and View 3. Go through it. If you want, you can like have a look in the documentation about some few what components and stuff and all. Like have a look. Whatever that is taught in the lecture, they use View 2, right? And over here they are using View 3. Go through it. You won't find a issue. Not at all. There could be some smaller minor changes, and that won't bug up your also. That is also. Now that
okay.
they have
So
the yeah. Huh.
here what we are going to use, Vue 3 or 2?
I will be using View 3.
Okay, fine, sir.
Okay, so what am I saying is there are two options that I can go for. Options as in, if you see the quick start guide, it is giving me an command, right? This command. If I run this command, then I can build a project. So it is a, you can think of it as it is a template or a sample project that it will build for me. Okay, if I use this commands. The same idea is for this one too. For UCLI too, if I creating a project, if I use this, it will create me a sample project. Right now, what I do is okay. So that is VCLI, right? And this one that is on the Vue.js documentation, it is giving me a command, right? In the backend, it is using White as the service provider. On that up, start with, and you can go through it. So basically, it's the White that is working on the back for this. That's what I would do is I would just showcase both the options. Both the ways. Okay. And on that, I will change my screen for at least. See, I'm in day 3. So one way is that you write npm, what was that? npm create view and the latest. This one is no Vue.js. If you run this command, you'll be getting an interactive terminal. Okay, it would ask you to install this create view 3.0, like whatever version that it is in the latest or in currently it is in. Okay. Just set it for yes, and it will proceed with the next steps. That is, if you want, you can give it a name for the direction. Like it is asking me. So let me do that. Let me name the directory to be front end. Enter. Next step, it is asking me what other features that you want to include. TypeScript and stuff, I am not going for it, but rather I only need router. Anything more that you want to get, you can like get it, but I'm keeping it very simple. Okay. You can get Prettyfire, you can get uh, white test and all, but I'm not going for it. Like whenever you are done selecting, so selecting how that will be done is like see it is giving you the instructions, right? Use the upward and downward arrow keys, and to select, please use the spacebar. Right? Next step, it is asking me for an experimental feature. Do I need that? This is new. Roll down right. Give me 1 second. Let's set the roll down. Okay, we don't need this, and zero lint is not also not needed. Zero X lint might be a testing package, a testing feature. So what I will do, I won't select anything, but rather click on enter, click press enter, and I'm here. Right now, the thing is that it is giving like if we open up the Explorer window, then you can see in day 3 front end directory was created. And within the front end directory, there are multiple other files and directories that are created, right? Now, the thing is that I have to finish off three steps before I can proceed. Okay. And again, please be aware, if you are on CLI, so what you do is, okay, let me just finish this three. So this three are needed. Anything more that get initialization and all, it's up to you if you want to do. Again, please be sure, please be aware that if you are going for Git for your total project, please do not use a public repository. Rather use a private repository. So the commands are cd frontend. So basically, you just need to take your terminal inside the frontend direction or in the frontend direction. Next step, run the command npm install. Okay. And with this, we'll be done. Like we are done for this Vue.js documentation or option. Okay. I would open up another directory. In here, what I want to do is I want to showcase that Vue CLI. I already have Vue CLI installed, so I do not need to do any more steps. But I can say this Vue version, and I already have Vue CLI. Okay. Just for showing on the demonstration purposes only, I won't be I will be using a single thing. So how can I do it is Vue create and the directory name. Like previously, I have to give the directory name later on. Right? But over here, you can you'll be giving the directory name before that. For example, if you give hello or something, yeah, hello, front end. Run the command. So it would create a directory within Day3, naming it as hello dash front end. Okay. Next step, it will be asking you if you want to proceed with some presets or manually select feature. Please go with preset. Okay. There is one thing that I forgot to say within that the other option that was whenever I was going for selecting the features, right? Select as minimal as it could be. That's a suggestion. Okay, I'm not asking you that, but that's a suggestion. That is because if you are going with linter and stuff, if there is minor issue or problem in your code, it won't let your code it won't allow your code to run, or won't let your code to uh, run, right? So that's a thing. But if you can manage that, currently it's you have so many tools with your hand for error debugging and stuff. You can like, manage that. So it's a choice that you want to make. But I won't report at least for my initial days. I also didn't use ESL. Now over here, I selected manually select features. Okay. Over from here, I can keep Babel. I'm not going for TypeScript and stuff, but router. Even I won't be like you can use Vuex, but I won't be using Vuex as of now as of for the bootcamp. But you can go for Vuex. That would be a thing that you want to look for. I opted out linter and then going for the next step, that is selecting the Vue version that I would be working on. I will be working on Vue 3, so I'm selecting Vue 3. Then it is asking me if I need the history mode for router. So what is history mode for router? If you have seen that in your browser, you have that navigation wala uh, you navigate like you can navigate between the pages, right? What was the previous page? And if you have gone to the previous page, what was the current? What was the next page and stuff? Like, getting my point, right? Where we can go back to the previous page. So, and if you have seen some government websites and the banking websites, they have you cannot go back to the previous page. If you try to go back to the previous page, it would break, and you have to restart again. It's whatever process you were on, you have to restart it totally. So the same idea is over here too. Like if you want to go back to the previous page and stuff, I'm setting it to beats. Then it is asking me where to keep the configurations. Okay. Configurations as if you remember from day two, we have that config.py file, right? Where like or us, there are not a huge number of configurations, but for front end there would be. So it is asking me if I want to keep it in dedicated config files or in package.json. I'm going for package.json. Okay. And when it is preset, like whatever options that you have selected, we need it for future purposes or not. No. And with this, it's done. And if you go to the other terminal, you will see that it has completed this thing. Okay. So this thing unsupported over the dependency. It is asking me the node version should be more than 22.12. You can like whenever you are selecting, you can like opt for that one or LTS is okay. And that's an warning. So no worries to that. This is a big error. Next thing after this is the what you want to do is the command that I want to run is npm run dev. Okay. Run dev for front end. Front end is the white file option or Vue.js document is file option. If you run this, you will see that it got compiled up and it is giving me some addresses. So what is happening? If you are going with the CLI idea, in that case, you would be having two servers running, one for backend, another one for front end. Right now, the front end server is totally separated out from the backend server. It is not at all depending on the backend server. It is totally a separate entity. Okay. The same goes for Vue CLI too. Vue CLI also gave me that it's done. Now it gave me two commands to run, that is cd whatever directory that I am in, and next step is npm run serve. So the other command that I did over there, it was npm run dev, right? And in here for Vue CLI, it is npm run serve. You can start it up, and it will also be starting a local server. Now the thing is, for both the directories that were created, you will find a README file. Go through it. You will find much more resource to yourself. Okay. So see, I did run this command, right? npm install. Then there is npm run dev used that I have used. And for Vue CLI 2, you'll find a README file over here. npm install was automatically done by it, so I didn't have to do it manually. Then I use npm run serve to run the server, right? Now here's the thing. Let's go through, like if you go through both the folder structures, it will be mostly the same, right? Some places will be changed here and there based on whatever uh, option that you have opted for, but the basic idea is same. So I will be discussing only one, and I will be showcasing that yes, you have everything for the other one. Okay. Go with the white option. So in day 3, I have two folders and going for the front end direction. In here, skip this .vs code wala direction. I'm not worried about that. There will be some configuration stuff, but other than that, there is node module, public, src, .git ignore. So there is node modules, public directory, and SRC directory. Three directories to focus on. Next step is index.html. Then there is package.json. And anything more, any other configuration file, you can go through it. Be like you can get somewhat idea of what are they doing. Okay, but majorly we'll focusing on whatever directories and file names that I have set right now. Now let's start with node modules, or even let's start with package.json. For Vue CLI, if you remember, I selected package.json to keep all the configurations, right? So it is kind of same for both. Okay. Over here you can see what was that project name and stuff, versions, then what were the scripts, dependencies, development dependencies, right? You can find all those over here. Even it is kind of same for Vue CLI too. See, dependencies, what are the development dependencies, what are the browser list and all. This is there because of that level. And any other way, this four were there too. Four JSONs were here too. So what is package.json? You can consider it to be again whatever that I will be comparing for the next next 2 to 3 minutes won't be uh, documentationally be correct or terminologically be correct, but yes, whatever that I'm saying is just for understanding purposes, right? From the backend, there was one file, right? Requirements.txt and config.py. Right? You can think of it as config.py and requirement.txt merged up into a single file. Okay. In requirements.txt, what I have all the libraries along with the versions that I am using for my backend. Similarly, in config.py, I have some configurations, right? Configurations that I have. So in package.json, you can think of it in this way. I have some configurations, like those are the scripts, then the dependencies, and anything more. Some minor configurations, but majorly the dependencies that I need to worried about. Dependencies as in what package that I am using. Currently, I'm using Vue and Vue router package. And what are the versions? So the versions it says that starting from 3.5.17, if you have anything newer, you can add that. Okay. So that's package.json, and package.json is auto maintained. Like previously for requirements.txt, what were we doing? We have to whenever I'm going for a newer package, a newer library, Python library, that time I have to manually update requirements.txt. That's not same for package.json. Package.json will be auto updated by 8 p.m. So you do not need to worry about it. Okay. So that is package.json. And now we'll be shifting our focus to like similarly for requirements.txt. We were like building what? We were building the virtual environment, right? In a similar idea for us, for in terms of front end, there is node modules. You can think of it as the virtual environment for your front end. So again, it's not logically correct that whatever like not in principle it is correct that whatever that I am saying, not terminologically correct that whatever that I am saying, but think of it in this way. What I have in the virtual environment, I have the Python libraries in the virtual environment, right? In a similar idea, but node module is having all the front end or JS packages that I will be using for front end. Okay, just for conveying, just for getting a similar idea to match up with the backend. That is why I am saying that you can compare the virtual environment from backend to the node modules in the front end. Okay, right. You can open it up and you can see there are multiple packages. Next step is the public directory, SRC directory, and index arranged. To build the project, majorly you have to keep your focus. Even in public directory, your focus will be very less. Okay? Your major focus will stay within the SIC directory and somewhat for the index.txt. Majorly within SRC directory. If you see for the view CLI option, it's same. There is public directory, SRC directory. Okay. And if you ask me, don't we have index.html for the view CLI option? It is there, just that it is in public directory. So here is the difference. This file could stay here and there. The structure will be somewhat different, but majorly it is same, right? If you Achha, if I show you something, please have to know. See, uh this is the page that was created, or this is the project that was created by VueCL. Okay, I can open that up. Just that I will be taking into SRC directly. For that, I'm showcasing what pages or what sample project that was created by the service, right? Service. Okay. This is VueCLI. You can see that here, this is a simple page. Okay, these are the links, and here is the router link, okay, that I can use to go to different pages. So that's an app bar. If I click on about, you can see I came to a different page. See, it's not. Let me change my screen. If I open up local host 8080,
Spelling.
Hmm?
Spelling. Localhost.
Yeah, yeah. Local host. So you can see that this is the one that I was talking about, and it's from VueCL. Right? If I click on about, you will see that even the address got changed. So it came to slash about. Previously, it was in the index. Okay. So two pages. In a similar idea, White also created me up, right? And both the servers are running. It's running on 5173. Here is the project. And the structure is a bit different, but if you see, I'm currently in the base location or index location, and it's like this. If I click on about, it changes this one. It is how the service providers are building user projects, but the idea is same, right? So let's change our focus and dig within the SRC and public direction. Okay, I would be uh, using a single one to explain, and the next one would be you can like infer from that. So let's take this option. So how is it going on? If you see, or if you remember from your theory course, that to have a page, you have to include it in a HTML page, right? And the HTML page gets mounted on top of on the browser, and on top of it, the Vue.js runs, right? In a similar idea over here too, you have to have a index.html file. Then you can have multiple other pages for through Vue.js and stuff. That is okay, but there would be a base HTML file over here too. So that is index.html, right? If you open it up, you will see that what we have over here. See, I'm not worried about the head. Even in the head, there is nothing. Okay. But if you open up the body, you will see that there is a script. That script tag is basically getting the main.js file with, like, it is like using using the main.js. Okay. And apart from that, on line 10, it is a div tag and it's empty. Okay. It is ID'd as app. If I try to render this file, you will see there's nothing. No, it's got supposed on. Well, host 5560. So this is the index.html file. It's empty as of. Nothing is there. You can, like, I can, like, do inspect and show you that. In elements, you will find this body. Here's the ID. See, other things are there, like these are from a different service that I use, and that is why I am getting three more. This three tags. Okay. Apart from that, here is the script tag, right? Type module, src, main.js, and other than that, here's the div tag. See, you can see both. So what I can infer that index.html is empty. Okay. Empty index.html. And that is getting mounted. That is possible. Any HTML file can get mounted on top of a browser, right? If I add something over here, for example, if I add a h1 tag and say index.html, refresh, you can see that it is popping up. It is visible, right? Now, let's see. But the difference is that if we go to white, like the white project, white as in the Vue.js one, you can see this is the index.html, basically the h1 tag, right? If I do inspect on this one, inspect this, you'll see this. This is the h1 tag that I have added, and here's the div tag, and after that there's the script tag. Okay, if you see from here, inspect this, or else we can show the page source. No, it's not good. From here only. Okay, here's the div tag. Div tag is empty, but in here, whenever it is like running from the front end server, the div tag is getting updated with multiple things. Why? What is that? Whatever view component and stuff are there, it is getting mounted in that div tag, right? And that, because of it, you are seeing everything. Okay, I would do one slight change. I would remove the styling so that it's a bit good to see. what am I trying to do is I'm just removing all the styling so that I can see a clear, clean page. Please, 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 please. There is it. Yeah, is what I want to see. Right? This styling can stay on the page. Okay, consider this. I'm not worried about styling. Let's skip the styling part totally. Okay. Uh, uh, okay, let me bring back some stuff. Um, that is majorly just to get all the contents within. Okay, let's let it be here. No worries. So what I'm saying is this is index.html, right? Let's let me do one thing just for the understanding purposes or just to explain it. I'm shifting to view CLI. Okay, it would be like it is giving me such a structure so that I can explain it more in detail, right? Nothing else. But both the structures are in here too. If you see, or if I try to do that, key, uh, if I try to render out the text.html file over here. It is in this one. See, no, sorry, public slash. See, it is getting mounted, and even here too, I have a div tag, right? You can see that from here. So for view CLI, the index.html file is within public directory, right? In here too, there is a head tag, and there is a no script tag, and that is just for that if you do not have Vue.js activated into your browser, then it will just showcase a help message that yes, you have to do that error message or help message or whatever you want to see. Next step is the div tag. See over here too, the div tag is ID as app, right? In a similar idea, if I write a h1 tag that I was trying to do over there, index.html, save it, refresh it, and you can see that yes, if I am manually trying to run this file, that is run this index.html file, then in that case, I only have this index.html that is written in a h1 tag, right? Next step, if you see this over here, this is how the index.html is getting rendered through the Vue CLI server, right? And over here, I can get that index.html like index.html that is from the h1 tag. And next step is whatever that we are seeing that I am selecting right now is within the div tag. If I open up inspect window and you can see within this div tag, it is getting mounted. Okay, so there's the navbar. See, there's the navbar. Then here's the content. So you navbar, then the content. Okay, and in here you will see that there is empty that I was talking about. There is empty. I don't just close it off. Okay, fine. So that's the index.html. And I'm talking about the div tag. Let's focus on the div tag now. Even you can see I can do something like start and and save this and see. Currently the page is somewhat like this. Index.html start and end. There is one slight thing that I want to do is if I refresh it very quickly, okay. See, I'm currently refreshing, I guess every second I am multiple times I'm refreshing the page. Okay. So that is why what it is doing, whenever it is trying to get or trying to mount itself, before that I am refreshing it. So what's happening? Index.html is like the index HTML file is getting mounted very quickly, and there is a slight delay to mount the rest of the stuff. That is the JavaScript and the Vue.js stuff, right? And what is happening? If you consider the index.html file only, so there's the two tags, H the two H1 tags that is on line 14 and 16. It's getting rendered out firstly, along with other tags or other things that is in the index.html. Right. Next thing, this div tag is also getting mounted, but it was getting mounted as an empty div tag. Now, whenever the server is running and it is using the public, what it is doing, it's like populating the div tag. So that is why the other H1 tag that is index.html is shifting towards the bottom of the page. Okay, because the div tag is getting populated. How it is getting populated? Those logics are in SRC directories main.js file. So what it is having? It is having the code to create a Vue app and mount it on a div tag, on that specific div tag. If you see, I have three import statements, and please pay attention whenever you are going for front-end pages, the style that you run write the import statement is different from Python. It is import whatever uh, method that you want to get from what package. So import create app from Vue package, import app from a file, import app from a router, import something from a router. Okay, we'll be seeing that. But as of now, just consider this. The format is a bit different. So I'm getting this create app method from Vue package. Okay, and using that to create the Vue app. And if you see line number 5, thus if you read it with the understanding of the English language, what it is saying? It is saying create app by using like by passing app and use router. Finally mount it on something. Okay. Create app, use something and mount it on something. Now what is this? This mount is as app, right? That is basically the ID that we are using here. For example, if I change it to my name, see, I'm changing it to my name. Save this, refresh, it's gone. The HTML file is getting mounted, but the div tag that is searched by main.js, it cannot find a div tag with ID as app. Okay. So if I change it, you can see that it will work now. So that's it, and it's set. The styling is gone because of the style set that is having is trying to style on the div tag that is ID as app and stuff, but it's gone. It's okay. What can I do? I will gonna find it is from here. Okay. It's in the app.view file. Okay. Silent being back. So I would just revert back the changes. Now main.js is doing so it is creating the view app and mounting it on that div tag is that is ID as app by using something. We'll be coming to that in a moment. But before that, this create app is getting something from app.view. Let's see what is this. That is line 2. App.view. App.view, like if you remember from again from the theory courses, what three major tags that we have in this few files? One is template, next one is what? There is script tag, and finally we have style tag, right? At least for the bootcamp, I would be keeping my focus, like giving least amount of focus for style tag because style is totally up to you how you want to do it and stuff. I won't be with styling. That is for sure. Next up, there's template and script. What is template? Whatever that you want to see on your screen, whatever things that you want to see on your screen will be in template, right? And however, whatever logic for each page, or at least for the total project that you have, will stay in the script tag, right? Now, from after view, script is empty. I don't have anything in script, but in template, I have something. So there's a nav bar, like nav tag, and that's from HTML. That is having two components. One is home, and another one is router, and there is router view. So if you remember, from view router, you got like those two tags are coming from view router link and router view. You see what is router link? Router link is this home and about, and router view is responsible for whatever code that we are seeing, like whatever component that we are seeing over here. Before I go to that, so this is app.view that is getting mounted on top of index.html because of main.js. So how is the flow going? Firstly, index.html got mounted. Then by using main.js, app.view is getting mounted on top of index.html. So base thing, index.html. Next thing, like because of main.js, app.view is getting mounted on top of index.html. Right. Come to app.view. App.view, let me see this. App.view stuff. Like I'm showcasing this scope for each. Right. So you can think of it in this way. Whatever that is this within this template tag, okay, template start and end tag, starting from line 2 to line 8, everything is getting mounted in this div tag that is within this inside this. So app.view. If you see, if I refresh it, see. So what I can say, because of main.js, app.view is getting mounted within index.html. And the scope for app.view is starting from not starting whatever that I have selected right now. But from the start tag to the end tag. And what I say, even this is I can segment. App.view is majorly having this and the last H2 tag within after app.view, right? Those are constant within app.view. Apart from that, whatever that we are seeing on our screen is because of view router. View router that is in main.js, you can see I'm getting this import statement that import router from the router directory. See, this is an import statement where we are importing something from the view package. Next thing is we are importing something from a file. And the last thing is we are importing something from a router or from a location that you can see. Basically from a location, but the locations are different. So what we are doing is whenever we are creating our view app, we are including the router to work with it. And where is router? If you see, router is within this direction, that is in this index or JS file. You can go through it. So basically, what are we doing? We got some over here. We got the methods that we'll be using from these packages. Next thing, it created the routes. Finally, I created the router, which I am exporting from this file. Okay, that is why I can import it over here. Exporting the router variable, if you remember. If you see, exporting this router variable. I can name it anything, but naming it router. Exporting it, using it, including it over here, so that I can use the router view and router link wala tags. So router link is like whatever there it is in the map bar, it's constant, right? And this router view is making us like providing us with the view or what with the pages that we want to see on our screen. So let's focus more on that router view. So index.js, that is routers. If I expand it, you can see as of now I have two endpoints. Okay, consider this. These endpoints are different from the backend endpoints. Those two are not related. I can have in both the servers, I can have the index root, but the servers are different. So it is not an issue. So it is totally separated out. There's no class on anything, right? So I have two endpoints. One is this one, that is the index route. Another one is the about, that is slash about. Okay. Now, what am I doing? I'm just declaring out the routes over here, right? In here, I'm saying that on the index endpoint or on the index router, you use this component, view component, that is home view. Home view is what? Home view is coming from this file. We'll be checking that out in a moment. But what am I saying? Whatever that you are seeing right now as selected is coming from home view. In a similar idea, slash about view. Slash about view like component, what it is doing, it is just calling a direct call method, or what was that? What kind of, I forgot the name. But it is basically trying to import and use the component. Okay. Like they are showcased two ways that you can do. So use that component. So in about, whatever that I have selected is because of router view. Router view. So consider this view. As of now, even you can see like I have opened the tabs, right? So firstly, index.html is getting mounted, and on top of index.html, app.view is getting mounted by the help of main.js. Now I'm saying that on top of app.view, some other view is getting mounted. See, view and view, please be aware. Whenever you have to get, or you have to understand, whenever I am using the word view as VUE, and whenever I am using the word VIEW. Okay. So on top of app.view, I am using index.js, basically the router, to mount something on top, right? Mount something on top of app.view. mount some app, like mount some view or some component on top of app. The router is helping me on that. Next thing, if you see within the SRC directory, I have views, right? Within here, I can find about view.view and home view.view. If I open up about view, see, as of now for about view, this completes the flow. Okay, index.html got mounted on top of index.html, after view got mounted, and on top of app.view, about view.view got mounted. And finally, we are seeing the end product, that is the about page. Okay, in between main.js and index.js are helping to get the stuff done, right? And as of now, I can see this about page, and it's like only having the template tag. It is not having any script, any styling, anything, nothing. It's a simple page. Okay. But it is focusing a practice that also you want to do. For example, you are creating a page, right? In that case, you'll be starting to code within this template tag. Firstly, that's the thing. But what I say is that see how they have done. They could have added the h1 tag within the template tag and it's done. But they have followed a technique. That is what they did. They created a div tag, and within that div tag, they added the h1 tag. But here's the catch: the div tag is classed as about, so that whenever you are going or whenever you are seeing the pages and stuff, you can find it's in a more structured way. Right? If I open it up, or else if I can open the page source over page source, let me zoom in. No, page source won't work for me. So, to manage. So if I open the inspector, you can see. So here's the index .html file. Then there's the div tag. If I open the div tag, you will see this app.view start and app.view end. Those two are coming from app.view, right? The h2 tags. Then there's the navbar. Navbar, right now you will see that there is ahref, like the anchor tags. Href is having what? The endpoints that you have to take your, like whenever you click on it, you have to take, like redirect yourself to that location. So whenever the pages are, whenever the components are getting mounted, so router link becomes an anchor tag. Okay. Here's the navbar. Then here's the div. Okay, that div is because of how you wrote it into the template tag. See, div class is a it is given as the class as about. Okay, so it's in a more structured way. Finally, you are seeing this h1 tag only. For the end user, you will be seeing a h1 tag, but this is how you prefer to do. Okay, so that's the about page. But there is something. If you go to home.view, okay, and let me see home.view, home view screen, home view.view. So this is home view.view, and zoom out. So I'm saying that right now what I have selected is total app.view, right? And only the home view is this much. That is what I have selected right now. But the thing is that if you go through the template tag, what do you see? I have like how it was for about view.view. I have that div tag within the template tag, right? But within that, what do I have? I have an image tag, that is fine. So image tag, like image is being done, I can find the image. But after that, there is a hello world tag. What do you think? Is that a HTML supplied tag? No, right? It's an user defined tag. How is that so? And whatever that we are seeing on our screen that is right now selected is because of that tag, this hello world tag. So what is that? That's a component. Like what you could do, think of it in this way. You have a huge page, right? Now, what did I do for the backend? I had that in app.py. Like I can have everything in my app.py file and I can use it. I can run it. That is possible. But what did I do? I made components or made smaller files for each, right? Like it could be it could be beneficial for me in multiple ways. But something like it's more structured. If I have broken my app.py in smaller segments, in that case, I can select a segment which could be like if I am getting an error, then I can pinpoint where that could be if I am having that idea. Okay. I can think of it like, yeah, that could be because of some configuration. So what would I do? Where would I do? I would just go ahead to the configuration file, and from there I can like look out for the possible error. Okay. Else, if I had that in app.py, I have to go through the total app.py to find it. Now, in a similar idea, for example, home view.view is have like it's a somewhat a big page. Okay. So what we are doing, we broke it down into a component. Okay. And kept the component over here. That is hello world.view. So whatever that is selected right now is coming from this file. And how can I include that in home view.view? That is because of declaring it as a component. You can find that in Vue.js, what component, like the idea of component. Okay. So for that, what we are doing, firstly, we are importing hello world, right? From where? You can see it is written as at the rate. At the rate is basically represents the SRC directory. Within SRC directory, there is components, and from components, from this file, I am getting hello world. Okay. Now, what you have to do within export default, that like, export default, within export default, you have to start or you have to define component, and within component, you have to supply this hello world so that it can be included in the template tag. Okay. Now, hello world was included for, but here is something more. I'm just removing. If you see what you are saying is this that is coming from that component. Okay. But if I add this message, then you are saying one more thing, one more extra. How is what is that? I'm coming to that in a moment. But consider this. Here's the file that we are talking about. So I'm really worried about the style, and here's the template, and here's the script tag. See, within script tag, from export default, we have to name the component. Okay. If we are not naming it, then also it is fine. Like it can handle itself, like Vue.js can handle. So, but it's a good way to do that. Whatever component or whatever view that you are creating within export default, name the component or the view, right? How it is given the name as hello world, okay, that we are importing over here. Same goes for home view. Home view is also given the name as home view, right? The component name as home view that we are importing over here. That is in line 2. But are we doing the same for about.view? We can have a look. About.view is not having anything similar to that. But if I would have done something like this, for example, in uh, something like about view, and instead of importing it directly, if I would have used this name about view and used it over here, still it would be handled. Okay. So Vue.js helps you with that. But still, it's a good practice to follow. So it's always better whenever you are going for building any components or any view, just name it. After that, there is something more that is prop. Okay. Prop again, everything was discussed in the theory courses. Please find that and have a look. Prop. In prop, we have set the attribute to be usage. That is what we are using over here. From hello world, we are passing the message to be this welcome to your Vue.js app. The same thing will be implemented over here. See, even here too, even for this component, they have added a div tag classed as hello. You can find it in the inspect window. See, it's, I'm like I could have skipped those, but it's a good practice that you also want to follow. That makes your code more readable and it would help you to debug your errors. Right? See, there's the home class, and within that, there's the next step, right? That is the component. And you can see the class is hello. You can expand it, then you will be seeing the final thing. So if you expand it, you'll see there is the H1 tag. And this H1 tag is having this message that is being rendered out and that is visible over here. This way. So this is the total home view, and the home view is being like is broken down into a component that is from. And even there is a one similarity from your Mac one. See the curly brackets, the double curly brackets to render something. It's same as the Ginger 2. Yeah, there would be like this isn't Ginger 2, but this is VJS. Like if you have like you have already seen it in your tables, just for the sake of pointing it up. Right? And with this, I say this is a total uh, app and the if you want to ask anything, you can ask. Else, we will just proceed to create a page and see how we can render it out by ourselves once.
There is one problem. So actually, I could not follow along. Uh, Previously, we have created two servers, I guess, from the same location. Can you please elaborate how?
From the same location.
Maybe like different using you ran two servers and then also you added index.html into a live server, right?
Oh, that is a extension for Vue.js. Sorry, VS Code. So that's a normal simple Python server. Or
Live server, I got it. Like
uh,
somehow you have added, but previously you have ran two servers.
actually two servers. Those are from the terminals. So one is that VueCL, another one is Vue.js. Okay. If you want to run the Vue.js server, you have made the project, then it is npm run serve, run dev. So and for VueCLI, it is npm run serve. So you are talking about that.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
That
You can find it in the README file too, for each npm run serve. npm run serve. Okay. Have you
actually I got
built it?
some error.
Okay, here. Okay, I can. Like you can have it checked. You can share your screen. That is possible. Considering you are building it right now and it's the same
Actually,
as.
I deleted that part
Oh,
because it ran some problem. That's
no, it's not.
should I share my screen then and do it?
No, it's like if you can get the error, have it. You try that out. If you get find the same error, then you can have a look. Till then, what I will do, I try to create a page. Let's uh, yeah, in here, what I want to do is create a page. How can I do it? So in SRC directory, within view, I create a new file. Okay. Example test view dot view. So what I want to have is a template tag. Let's start off with the template tag. And there should be a script tag. Within template tag, the thing that I was saying, use a div tag class, give a class to it, test view, and okay, some content to it, that is fine. Next thing, in the script tag, if I want to do export, like export default, and put the name, some text, that would be it. Save this file. See, simple file, nothing much. Can have anything, that is okay. And in the like in part of that template tag. Okay. And in the script tag, I have kept it in that. But what if I comment it? Okay, I will showcase both. I'm commenting it down. But if I want to see it if I want to have it within my app, what I have to come to the router, I have to declare a path, right? So I have to define a path. For example, slash test. Okay. And the name you can give or you can skip, but you have to give component. What component to use? Right. Let's do this. Instead of about view, let me change it to test view. Coming from this one. The component that is to be used is test view. Let's see. As of now, I have commented it down. Even if you want, I can like remove it from the file. I don't have that. The thing that I was talking about, that Vue.js will handle it. See, server is running right now. And if I manually, like I haven't set it in the navbar, but if I manually go to slash test, you can see this is the view that I was seeing. Did I write anything? No. Did I write anything as in, did I write anything in the script tag? Even what am I doing? I'm not using the format that was used in like used for above. Instead, what am I saying? Import that whatever that you have in this view.view file to this. It would be like even naming it right now, right over here. Okay. And we are using it as a component. That is possible. Even the best thing is you do this. That's a good practice. Save it and forward. There is one more thing that if you want, you can go for. Even it was like prepared, like it was discussed in the, I guess, in the lecture videos or in the screencast videos. That is the view. What was that? Dev tools. Right? You can go through it. You can see that I gave it to be a test view. That is why I am seeing that. If I comment it down, most probably it will be gone. No, test view is there. Test view is because of this thing. Right meaning no, still is test view. And that is a thing. Okay, I guess it is taking the file name right now. it might be taking the anyways. So I use DevTools and stuff, but it can be fast. So what am I saying? This test view, right? There is something more. For example, if I want to add it to the navbar in after view, one way is that you follow the styling and I add slash this to the what am I saying? In app.view, I am adding it to the navbar, right? Text about only. There is one more thing, that is in router I have this name, right? How that name could be used. Let's see. Name. For example, I gives the name to be test, right? Now this total component is static. Okay, static as in, see, it's not dynamic in nature. I have given it a endpoint that I load and it will go ahead to that endpoint only. But what if you remember that from your advantage, there was one method URL for, right? What you used to do is whatever method that you were declaring, Python method that you were declaring, for example, you are declaring something else, create, or I can take an example. In here, in app.py, I have this contact, right? If I have, if I want to use URL for, what would I do and what URL for will give me? That is, if I write this method name, that is contact, within URL for method, what it would give me, it would generate me whatever endpoint that is being attached to this contact on a method, right? It could be anything and it would be dynamic in nature. The similar idea is also I'm going to implement over here. That is, I would use the name to find whatever path that I have. Okay. And why am I saying this? It is not only available for this one, but in multiple places. Okay. You will find that whenever you are building a project, you may feel the need and go through the Vue.js documentation. You will find that you will find multiple places where you can add that. It makes your project much more robust. Think of it in this way. If I have test some other stuff, and if I go to about and test now, what am I doing? I'm sending the location. I'm like sending my page to slash test, but is slash test the test view? No, right? It got changed. So in that case, what can I do? In this router link tag, before two, again, this was again discussed in the theory course. Okay, if you remember, add this colon, right? So it makes two to be dynamic, and within this double quotes, start this sort of curly brackets, and within that you write name, and after that write the name to be test. Okay. Save this, refresh it, and now if I go to home, about, and test, you can see it is redirecting me to that specific endpoint. Basically, it is getting like going to the router like index.js, that is the view router, and finding whatever endpoint that I have given, and it is sending it to that. So whenever it is rendering out, it's like attaching this the anchor tag with that specific endpoint. I can see, and it's good practice. The following. This becomes home. This is our- It doesn't make a difference, huge difference in terms of the end user, but yeah, it's a good practice. Right. And with this, I say, yeah, even I can do a component developing. For example, if I do it manually, just to this. So let me have this two p tags in a component. The end result, the end page won't be different, but it's how you are doing it. So in component, let's create a new file and name it as test dot view. So what I have to do is again add a template, add a div, and within this div, I am having this two p tags. And let me give a class test component. In script, what I am doing is export default test component, whatever that you want to name as. In here, what I will do before export default, I have to import test component from the location component and test component. Right. After name, add a comma. In here, here components. Within component, you want to define or you want to write test component. So test component got imported into this file. Next thing, what I will do in here as a tag, you just need to call test component. Test component. Even you can like have a single in that format, else this format is fine. Stress about is test. Stress. I guess something. No, it's local. TAT slash test. Okay, you're not seeing anything, I guess, because of this structure. You have to maintain that. It has to be in that form. But still, I don't see anything. That's a sad thing. What did I do wrong? Hmm. The import statement. I wrote it in a wrong format. Now it is that. Even I can give it a try. And just want to see. Yeah. Still is one. Yeah. Right. The import statement was and the prop that they were using is like for example, this is a simple test. For this, I'm changing the word simple. Right. In here, I have to define props for the right, right, and you can write like you can give a default option or whatever type that you want. If this type is different, uh, let me change the this way. So we cannot do the same. Type I'm setting it to be string, and I can give a default option that I can. If I do not pass anything, it would be basic. Okay, let's see. I am not passing anything, so it is basic. It's not skipping that part. Rather, if I go to test.field, what I will do within that, I just write what was that test type. Right? Test type to be simple. So you will answer it and it's there. Right. So this is how you'll be like you can give it a try like by yourself. Else you can like uh, get it from my GitHub repository, like fetch it and try it out. Else, I would recommend you if you are going to use the CLI idea, so get whatever preferred uh, package that you want to work with. Again, if you want, you can go for view like Vue.js documentation one option, that is this one. Again, just for the sake that I do not want to create the pages in the before explaining. That is why I prefer Vue CLI, so that I do not want to reduce the styling and even the pages somewhat looks good. That is why I prefer that. But if you want, you can go for Vue, like the white option, and remove everything and start from scratch. That is right. Start from scratch and then remove all the pages and the styling and start new. Right. Right. So this is what I have for today. I added a page, and next day I will be creating and finalizing my front end, basic front end, along with redirects. Like there is already the redirect and stuff, but I will be attaching my backend to the front. That is the part that I have left with. Even there is one thing that I want to cover today. That is in the test page. Let me do something. Again, this was covered in your every course, but just for the sake of completion. For example, I have an in here. I am having an input tag type as text and address of text. What I want to do that would be visible over here. That's visible. Enter some text. Now, if you consider this, test view is segmented into two parts. One is template, another one is script. Right now, what you have to do, the end user won't be directly be using script all apart, right? But from the script all apart, it will be bridging the gap between the front end and the back end somehow. For example, if I want to write something over here, I have to pass it to script. What would I do? I need to create the variables, right? Consider this variables. So the data component, the data wala part. Over here, what I do? Define data, return. What are the data fields? Example, test message, and it's empty as of now, empty or null or anything. Next thing, what I'm saying is whatever that I write over here, it should get populated within this test message. And how is that possible? That is because of vmodel, vbind, and those stuff, right? See, vmodel, vbind, plus vmodel, so many things. Vmodel. And in here, what you have to do, this dot, then variable name, that is test message. If I write it, it will be getting populated. For example, I this. So you can check that out from the Vue Dev Tools. It's a long time I have used the Vue Dev Tools. Anyways, let's not use Dev Tools at all. Rather do something else. I say that it's getting popular. How can I check that? Let me render out the thing. Like I can do that. So this is this dot test message. I can see whatever that I write, it will be populated into the variable, and that variable will be rendered out after this. So, for example, hi is right. So it's getting populated into the variable. Now there is something more, one more thing that you want to use whenever you are building your front end. That is the console that you will be using. Okay. It's the best thing. Like how we use the smaller print statements to find bugs and stuff. We can use this console to do the same thing. Right? How can I do it? For example, what am I saying is I have a button. Okay, button after this input tag button, and what that button does is button runs a method on click. Whenever I click on that button, it would run a uh, method that would eventually take this message for a variable and print it on the console. How can I do it? Is after data, I will declare one more thing that is methods. Okay, print message. So this method, what this method does is this method prints the variable test message on console. Okay, console log this dot test message. Okay. How can I do it? In on click to this on click attribute, I would add this dot, what was the name? Print message. And that's a method. So, yeah. See, let's give it a try. So I write this. Let me open it now. It's over here. Hi, this is that's printed, and you can see that it's not. I wrote the spelling wrong. Hi, this is click again. What is that? Sorry, not on click. At click. It's not on click only. Go. Yeah, on click. Let's see what's happening. This message is not a function. The not a function. Why is that not a function? That's a bummer. Print message. What's happening? Now that's weird. No worries. Like you can use V on like uses other stuff, or else on click also it will work. I don't know why this that was happening. But yeah, that's a bit weird. Hmm. I guess with an update they might have changed something. So on V on I have to use. That is okay. That is fine. Now let's give it a try. Uh, empty out the console. I this is print, and that is okay. Fine. Okay. give it a try, have a look. And this is what I want to cover for today. And next day we'll be finishing off our backend with creating dashboard, with setting data to the backend, like how they can use a form and stuff. Then interacting with it, using the token to secure, like using this token as the backend is being secured right now. And yeah, with that, I would say the front end will be also done. So have a look, go through the code once, give it a try. Right. And if you have any doubt, any error, or anything, you can discuss it. So, अब चलो आज के लिए हो गया.
Okay, sir.
And stop the recording over there.